Assalamu alaikum friends, welcome back to my channel Study with Shamal. So today we are again going to study the chapter the War of Independence. Yesterday we studied the causes for the War of Independence, and today we are going to be studying the reasons for the failure of the War of Independence. So the War of Independence formally came to an end in 1858, and these were the reasons why it failed. Let's discuss them one by one. First is lack of unity. The Indians were not united. As they were not united, they were also uncoordinated, and they had lack of support for each other. For example, the Muslims they only wanted to restore the Mughal Empire. The Hindus they wanted to rule alone, and the Sikhs wanted to restore their rule in the Punjab. None of them wanted to establish a united and independent India, whereas the British they were united in their mission. What was their mission? To establish a British India which was not independent and they can rule on the India. This was their mission, and this mission was for all of the British. So they were united in their mission, whereas the Indians were not united, so they suffered a very brutal defeat. Then is the help of the princes. The princes, their position was strongly tied with the British. As the British rule continued, so did the rule of the princes continued. If the British went, so the princes would be forced to step down from their position. So they sent 2,000 troops were sent by the Kashmir ruler, and the Punjab was not involved in supporting the Indians against the British. So this gave the British strength, and eventually they defeated the Indians. So the support of the princes to the British was also one of the reasons why Indians suffered defeat. Then the third is the absence of a leader. Um, there was no leader. Yeah, many people said that Bahadur Shah Zafar was a leader of the rebels at the time, but he was not accepted by the Sikhs and the Hindus. Why was he not accepted? Firstly, he was considered a puppet of the British. Secondly, the Hindus and the Sikhs did not want the Mughal rule to rise again. They did not want the Mughal emperor to come and rule India again. So this was the reason why he was not accepted as a leader. Um, then the British they always fought under a leader who was also called a governor, a general or a commander at the time, and like he was controlling the army. So all of the British they accepted their head and they did whatever the commander ordered them. So there was no leader to control the rebels and lead them accordingly. So this led to the defeat. The fourth is the absence of a plan. The war started in a confusion, and there was no plan or strategy which the Indians could apply. Whereas the British, they always had a plan and a strategy, and they always fought according to their plan and their strategy. Um, this gave the British an upper hand over the Indians who had no plan, and they were uncoordinated as well, so they were easily defeated. Then the strength of the British. The British were very strong. They were skilled in warfare. They had experienced generals and commanders. They had experienced leaders. They had revolutionized in industry. The industrial revolution had taken place in the British, and they had capital for buying modern machinery such as machine guns, etc. While the Indians at the time they fought with daggers and swords which were outdated, and they could not withstand the strength of the British. Um, there were also skill diplomats. This point I missed. Okay, so these are the 5 reasons why the War of Independence came to an end, and it failed, and the Indians were not successful in throwing the British out of the India. So you are going to mention these 5 reasons with this development. When the question comes, was Daesh the most important reason for the failure of the War of Independence? That's it for today. Thank you. Bye bye.